successor of the Arunachala Sarvajñapita by his Guru Parampara at the age of 16 on the 24th of May, 1894. In this lineage is Yogi Yogananda Puri, Ishakti Swamikal, and Mataji Vivekananda Puri. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the mission, the Nithyananda Sangha, to revive Kailasa internationally at the age of 21 in 1999. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita at the age of 24 on the 4th of November 2002. Just a little over 19 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism performs the Bhumi Puja, inaugurating the land of Adi Kailasa. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been declared as the successor of the Bhagyanagara Sripura Sarvajñapita at the age of 26 on the 1st of January 2004, where you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being coronated. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamshi Sarangi Samrajam, of the Suryavamshi lineage at the age of 26 on the 31st of December 2004. And at the age of 29, Supreme Survivor of the Adi Pallava Sarvajñapita in 2007. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the successor of the Kashi Sarvajñapita at the age of 30 in 2008. And at the age of, in 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar, the Supreme Spiritual Head of the Mahanirvana Pada, the largest apex monastic order at the age of 35, and the youngest Mahamandaleshwar at the age of 35. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was also declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atalakada. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tanjavur Adinam at the age of 36 in 2004, Adinam at the age of also 36, one of the ancient kingdoms in Tamil Nadu. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also been coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Vedaranyam Adinam at the age of 36 in 2014, one of the other ancient mutts in Tamil Nadu. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also been coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharmamukti Swaragapura Adinam at the age of 37 in 2015, and has also been coronated at the same age as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Adi Veda Paladama, most ancient in Karnataka, dating back over 6,000 years. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by Hindu leaders of conflict at the age of 36 in 2014, and has been recognized by these leaders as the incarnation of Paramashivoham himself. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific and most viewed guru in the digital world, has been read and watched by over 1 billion people and followers in Hinduism. And Kailasa is the world's greatest digital Hindu nation with over 1 billion views. And you can connect with Kailasa on the various social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more. And over the last 27 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has contributed relentless humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food banks, medical services, and natural disaster relief, women empowerment, peace initiatives, and conflict resolution initiatives. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Here you can see a few which are freely available online. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million Palmali scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has delivered over 10,000 hours of discourses and has over 1 billion views on social media. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is respected as a commentator of all sacred scriptures such as the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Shiva Sutras, the Ashtavakra Gita, the Jain Sutras, and more. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is honored as a leader of Hinduism, the most awarded internationally recognized Hindu leader, and has most recently been recognized by the California State Senate, the U.S. Senate, and various congressmen across the U.S., and is acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the reviver of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Nithyananda Order of monks, nuns, and the Hindu diaspora worldwide, who are working for global peace and to give a superconscious breakthrough to the whole of humanity. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu university in the world, with satellite campuses in 150 countries and thousands of courses freely available online. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems, which span across 6 continents and various countries across the globe, and is the founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvik and the traditional seats of knowledge, reviving the science of enlightenment. Now that we understood who is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, his contributions to humanity over the last 27 years, let's now enter into the next segment, the demonstration of the extraordinary powers, the extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva, as demonstrated by the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Before this, let us understand the science of Diksha, the science of initiation by an avatar.
A look, a word, a touch. Power of initiation. Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened look, word, a look, a word, a touch. Power of initiation. Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarvasamapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayaha. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership, and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, Birdi, Bengaluru. Contact 97422 03311 82774 90091. Visit www.nithyananda.org.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes. I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gahana Sadrusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanam, welcome to today's Parashakti's Akashic reading, and for today's manifesting extraordinary Shaktis, the power manifesting the Shaktis of Paramashiva and Parashakti. In today's power manifestation segment, we're going to be looking into the manifesting the first level power, which is reading and seeing with your eyes completely blindfolded. The Balasans, Nityananda yogis, the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, will now be demonstrating the powers of third eye and sharing with all the experience and results of the extraordinary manifestation of the divine powers awakened in us through Diksha, which is the initiation. In today's Bhava Samaj Darshan, all of us will be receiving the initiation into third eye awakening in various other powers with the blessings and grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We will be manifesting the following powers, which is the third eye, seeing with our eyes completely blindfolded. Third eye is a cosmic browsing center located between the brows, which upon initiation, one can effortlessly express powers and see through the third eye, just as you do with the two eyes. So, what are Shaktis? In the Vedagamas, which is the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest 460 extraordinary Shaktis, the divine powers. Shaktis are described as a system or a method and a science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are divine. You need to manifest divine, and not you are man. You need to reach divine. Now, let us learn what are the difference between Shaktis and Siddhis. The Shakti is expressed from the space of enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the Guru. The Shaktis are the source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are powers that manifest from tapas or penance for enlightenment. Siddhis are on the path of enlightenment. The Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after the initiation from the avatar. The Shaktis are permanent, whereas Siddhis are not permanent. Siddhis may divert you from the space of enlightenment. Paramashiva is a primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause, which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As a fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest, and Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, the five cosmic acts of Shristi, creation, Sthiti, sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Throbhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberating grace for all living entities. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is an 1008th living incarnation and representative of Paramashiva and the reviver of Kailasa. the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the great cosmic border. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been the cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced science. It was where the science of enlightenment and powers, Shaktis, was lived and taught as a lifestyle. For the first time in modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world at a record breaking pace never accomplished before. The knowledge and sciences of manifesting these Shaktis are passed on from one generation to the next through Diksha, which is the initiation by the enlightened gurus. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the initiation and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from the disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra and Sri Vidya, Yoga and Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushadha, Advaita and Bhakti Yoga, Paramashiva and Paramashiva Vijnana. So, how to awaken the divine Shaktis in us? Manifesting Shaktis, the every ultimate truth, which is the Jnana, mapped into your consciousness, Prajna, manifest as a possibility and power of every being, Prajnana. The science of power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects or evidence which are called Pramana. The first is Shastra Pramana, which is the eternal, unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures. Next is the Atma Pramana, which is the experience and results of Aptas or authorities of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis and scientists who have time tested and verified the science. Atma Pramana, which is the account of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Pratyaksha Pramana, or which are called the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. Vedas are the ultimate superior authorities for Hindus. Vedas are the pure science where the ultimate truths are explained. Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. Vedas and Agamas are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. A reference cited from the Shastra source scriptures is called Shastra Pramana. Let us now get ready to witness a very unique and exciting demonstration of the power of third eye. The Shastra Pramana, which is scriptural reference to manifest this power of third eye, goes by Kapalantarmanonyasya Tishtanmilitalochanaha Kramena Manaso Dardyad Lakshayed Lakshamuttamam. The translation goes, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by the stability of the mind and inner space, through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal, Laksham, by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source Paramashiva. Atma Pramana, where Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore, I grant you the divine third eye vision. Behold my cosmic appearance. In the Hindu Purana, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye to behold Krishna's Vishwarupa Darshan, the vision of his cosmic form. The 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which contains a description of Bhagavan Krishna's cosmic form, is completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Krishna through the. In Swamiji's own words, the first experience that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, 10 directions, below me, everything I realized, not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience all of that as me. Pratyaksha Pramana, which is a study measures and comparing metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious and meditative states. When doing daily activities, high activity is measured in the brain, where the third eye is located. When in the deep samadhi state, only the third eye region is active, and almost 90% of the brain is rest at peace. Sakshi Pramana is this rare sacred sense of third eye awakening is being made available to humanity for the ultimate enrichment and conscious evolution by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Swamiji embodies the most profound yogic state that surpasses all bounds of time, space, and matter. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is gifting this pure great sense of third eye awakening, allowed in many other spiritual sciences through initiation, Diksha. Billions of people have been initiated by Swamiji and are experiencing the profound results as extraordinary powers in their everyday life. Now, let us now witness the live Sakshi Pramana demonstration of the power of third eye with the Balasins and Nityananda yogis. Now, we'll be entering into the power manifestation demonstration directly. What is going to happen now is I'm going to be wearing a blindfold and we're completely blindfolding myself. So this is the mindfold which I'm going to wear. This mindfold is completely tested by the ophthalmologist and can't be able to see visibly through any of the light or any vision through this blindfold. This blindfold is made of thick acrylic sheet in the front, and towards the behind is a sponge, and there's an adjustable strap around it also. So today's power manifestations demonstration, what is going to happen is we're going to be pulling out one of the posts from the Kailasa Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism Facebook page and reading out that and describing a jumbled upon words and letters. So these are the both things which is going to happen. I'll be connecting myself in the space of oneness with Swamiji, remembering him in my third eye and in the Anandagandha, having the simple cognition Paramashiva is real and manifest this power. So now, having the simple obedience and simple cognition that Paramashiva is real and remembering him in my third eye and going to manifest this power. Now, let us all sit straight. Take few minutes, remember Swamiji in our third eye in the Anandagandha in any inner space and chant the Mahavakya along. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. So the first post which is getting projected is Kailasa, which is all a blissful Skandasashti, absolute knowledge, absolute consciousness, and ultimate infinite. All the glories, possibilities, powers, and qualities of Paramashiva express itself completely in Subramanya. He is Lord of Victory, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, with an Swamiji's picture having the Subramanya Bhava Samadhi Darshan in the right side, and towards the left is Lord Muruga's image. Moving on to the next post, which is completely in black and white font. The first word, as you can see in just straight in front of your eyes, is syntax, runtime, recursion, token, logical, sector, parity, OT, default, loading, variant, username, thread, default, number, domain, half tone, and more. So these are the two posts. One the post from the Kailasa's Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism page, and one is a random jumbled upon words letter which is in black and white. Now, if all of you has witnessed this live Sakshi Pramana, just a glimpse of reading with your eyes completely blindfolded, remembering Swamiji in our third eye, and chanting the Mahavakya and manifesting this power. By the end of today's session, we'll be having a guided power manifestation segment to manifest the same extraordinary powers. Stay tuned for the next session. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Ananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om
Nithyananda, welcome back to viewers. Now let us enter into this next section and understand who is Devi Parashakti, the divine cosmic mother. So the Dhyana Shloka or Devi Parashakti describes the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in a vermilion red body with a triple eye, sporting a crown of rubies studded with a crescent moon. A face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a dual cup brimming with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. I meditate on the great empress. She is red in color and her eyes are full of compassion and holds the noose, the goat, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hand. She is surrounded on all sides by power, such as Anima, and she is the self within me. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come out and go in. Source where the Big Bang and black holes go on. Parashakti is the source Shakti, source energy, source power, from which all of us came, in which all of us are even now, in which all of us are going to merge. Out of her extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidana, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, gracing us, answering all of our questions, giving boon, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the truth itself. In the words of Devi Parashakti herself, describing herself, raising as Omkara, expressing as the Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Reemkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in the 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swamini, who is the Kailasa Tripura Chintamani, Parashodasi, sitting as part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi, as Nithyananda. I took Nijavatara here to give good boon to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranyagarbhaswarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Napala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samrajalakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi, Meenakshi. Taking the form of Nithyananda, I came here as Nijavatara with great compassion. I am blessing. Listen, people, do good to all of you. I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. Raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, the powers of existence, the expression of existence. From the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Ichaktiya Jnana, growing as the four Vedas, expanding as the five Panchabhutas, beyond the six chakras, filled as the Gotaras of the seven Rishis, expanding as the eight directions, existing as the nine Grahas, blossoming as the 10 Indriyas, being as the 11 Rudras, creating all the world, bringing life to tell and make truth blossom, and to do good. Parashodasi, Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came to bless every one of you. So, how can we receive Devi Parashakti? In the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself, literally, you are seeing Paramashivoham and Parashakti at that moment. She is there in your screen. So always receive her very traditionally. Keep 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin in front of the screen. Watch daily. This coin is the traditional dakshina. In the Hindu tradition, it can be even the lowest value. In India, it can be even 1 paisa. In the US, it can be even 1 cent. I'm not trying to monetize. Keep even 1 cent. It is okay. So for 100 days, if you have darshan, it will add up to $1. In India, even 1 paisa is okay. You can offer that to Devi after the darshan is over. Do namaskar and eat the banana, the betel leaf, and betel nut. Take it as prasadam immediately. Collect those coins and send them to the LA temple. This betel leaf, betel nut may look too small, but in a few days you will see how much it adds to your sentiment that really she is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your unconscious behavior. Now, how can we set up our download? You can keep 2 betel leaves, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin, and put that on a plate and offer it to Devi every time you have darshan. You will see with this one small gesture how much your relationship, your connection to Devi Parashakti grows. Now, with this, we'll be entering into the next segment. As we all know, Devi Parashakti has been continuously revealing sacred secrets of the universe and about giving us guidance, advice, and now in this segment, we'll be understanding what Devi Parashakti has revealed about the sacred secrets of new birth.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
First, let us watch what Devi Parashakti has revealed as these sacred secrets of new birth.
நன்றாய் கேட்டுக்கொள். உன் கேள்விக்கு உன்மூலமாய் உலகெங்கும் இருக்கும் இந்துக்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் அளிக்கின்றேன் உத்திரம். கேட்டு வாழ்ந்தால் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை பத்திரம். நன்றாய் கேளுங்கள். பிறப்பின் ரகசியத்தை பிறப்பிலா பெருமை உடைய பரமேஸ்வரி சொல்லுகின்றேன் கேளுங்கள். அண்டஜம், யோனிஜம், ஜலஜம், பீஜம் எனும் 4 விதமான பிறவிகளில் 84,000 யோனிகளில் பிறக்கும் பிறப்புகளிலேயே பெருமை வாய்ந்ததும் உத்தமமானதும் மனிதப் பிறவி. அந்த மனிதப் பிறவியிலும் பலமுறை பிறந்து உழன்று அரசியல், பொருளாதாரம், சுகபோகம், தர்மம், அர்த்தம், காமம் எனும் ஆசைகள், துக்கங்கள், அச்சங்கள் அனைத்திலும் அழன்று உழன்று இனி வேண்டாம் இப்பிறவி, வேண்டுவது மோட்சமே என்று முடிவெடுத்தோர்க்கு மட்டுமே ஹிந்து மத யோனிஜம், ஹிந்து பிறந்திடும் சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம், மனித பிறவி உத்தமம், சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித பிறவி உத்தமோத்தமம். இந்த உத்தமோத்தல்லோருக்கும் ஜீவன் முக்த விஞ்ஞானத்தையும் சனாதன தர்மத்தையும் காக்கின்ற கடமையும் உண்டு. அதனால் வருகின்ற நன்மையெல்லாம் அனுபவிக்கும் உரிமையும் உண்டு. இந்த கடமையை செய்வோம் என்று சத்தியம் செய்ததனால்தான் அந்த உரிமை அளிக்கப்பட்டது. பூமிக்கு வந்தபின் மனம் மயங்கி மதிமயங்கி சனாதன தர்மம் காக்க மறந்ததனால் மாயை அவர்கள் உயிரை பறிக்கின்றாள். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மத்தை காப்போம் என்று உறுதி எடுத்தவர்க்கே சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம். உடல் பெற்ற பிறகு ஊழிப் பெருவலியால் ஆசை அச்சங்களை உதறவிடாது, உதறியும் விடாது சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்தோரை உயிர் வாழத் தகுதியில்லாதவர் பட்டியலில் உடனடியாய் மாயை சேர்க்கின்றாள். அதனால் ராட்சசர்களும் அசுரர்களும் தானாகவே இவர்கள் உயிரை எடுக்கின்றார். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மம் காப்போம் என்று நிற்பவர்க்கு நிலைத்திடும் வீரஸ்வர்க்கமும் கைலாச பதவியும், எக்காரணம் கொண்டும் தர்மம் காக்க மறந்த உத்தமோத்தம ஜனனமான சனாதன ஹிந்து ஜனனம் பெற்ற மக்களுக்கு இல்லை வேறு கதி. சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித ஜனனம் உத்தமோத்தம மனித ஜனனம். உங்கள் உரிமை உலகில் அதிகம், உங்களுக்கு கடமையும் உலகில் பெரிது. தர்மம் காத்தாலே கடமை, தர்மம் காக்காதார்க்கு உயிர் வாழும் உரிமை இல்லை. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உத்தமோத்தம பிறவியான சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோரும் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்வின் முதற்கடமை தர்மம் காத்தல். தர்மம் காக்க தர்மம் உங்களை காக்கும். சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்திட்டால் வாழும் உரிமையை நீங்கள் இழந்து விடுகின்றீர்கள். அதற்கு மேல் வாழ்ந்தென்ன அழிந்தென்ன? பூமிக்கு பாரம் குறையட்டும் என்று அசுரர்களும் ராட்சதர்களும் உங்களை உண்டு தீர்க்கின்றார்கள். அதையும் மாயை கண்டு சும்மாவிருப்பாள். பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை, பிறவியின் ரகசியத்தை உலகிற்கெல்லாம் உத்தரமாய்ச் சொல்லிவிட்டேன். புரிந்து வாழ்வில் நடந்து உயிரை பத்திரமாய் பார்த்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். அன்னை சொல்லும் அருள் சத்தியம் இது. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
Now let us look at Devi Parashakti.
நன்றாய்
Devi revealed. Listen, Andajam, Yonijam, Jalajam, Bijam. Like this, in 4 types of birth, in 84 lakh yonis, in all of these births, the most greatest birth of them all is the human birth. Even in that human birth, being born and toiled many times, after getting burnt and toiled in politics, in finance, in luxuries, in dharma, artha, kama. And those who decide of not wanting this birth, wanting only moksha, only those will have Hindu dharma yonikam, the Sanatana Hindu dharma yonikam, of being born to Hindu parents. And even in Dharma, the best. Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamottama, the best of the best. One who took this Uttamottama birth has the responsibility of protecting the science, enlightenment, and Sanatana Dharma. And also they have the right of experiencing its benefits. This right was given to them because of their commitment given by them to do this responsibility. After coming to Bhuloka, by getting mentally deluded and forgetting the dharma of protecting Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Maya, she is taking away all their souls. Understand carefully, I'm giving the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam only for those who gave the commitment of protecting Sanatana Dharma, even by giving their life. After getting the body because of painful delusion, not dropping fear and greed. For those who forgot to protect that Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Maya, she will immediately add them all to the list of those who are not worthy of living. Therefore, Rakshasas and Asuras will automatically taking away their life Understand properly. For those who stand that even by giving their life, they will protect Dharma, will permanently be a Svarga and Kailasa Padavi. For any reason, people who forgot to protect Dharma have the Uttamottama birth of Sanatana Hindu birth. There is no other way for them. Sanatana Hindu Dharma, human birth, is Uttamottama human birth. Your rights in this world are immense. Also, your responsibility in this world is large. Protecting Dharma is responsibility. Those who do not protect Dharma, they do not have the right to live. Understand properly, all those who took the Uttamottama birth, which is Sanatana Hindu birth, is all of you understand. The first responsibility of your life is protecting Dharma. If you protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. If you forget to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, you lose the right of living. After that, the bodies will get destroyed. Asuras and Rakshasas will eat you, so that burden on earth will be reduced. Seeing that Maya, she will keep quiet. So let us understand what is the responsibility of the Hindus as revealed by Devi Parashakti. Hinduism represents the world's most ancient yet progressive indigenous spiritual tradition. It is an open framework model of civilization that stands for global peace, vegetarianism, non-violence, yoga, worship of nature, temple-based living, manifesting spiritual powers, and the inherent divinity of every being. The Hindu nations were ecosystems where more and more enlightened beings could be produced. That enlightened civilization could be kept alive, and its great gift shared with the world. So let us look at some of the references of our Hindu nations from our scripture. The Ramarajya, the Hindu kingdom ruled by Bhagavan Sri Rama, was described in the Valmiki Ramayana. There was no widows to lament, nor there was any danger from wild animals, nor any fear born of diseases. The world was bereft of thieves and robberies. No one felt worthless, nor did old people perform a secret concerning youngsters. Every creature felt pleased. Everyone was intent on virtue, turning their eyes towards Rama alone. Creatures did not kill one another. And the description continues on. People survived for thousands of years with thousands of their progeny, all free of illness and grief. The trees there were bearing flowers and fruit regularly without any injury by pests and insects. The clouds were raining in time, and the wind was delightful to the touch. Every caste was performing their own duties, satisfied with their own work and bereft of any greed. People were intent on virtue and lived without telling lies. All the people were endowed with excellent characteristics. All were engaged in virtue. Another description of one of the ancient Hindu kingdoms, the Hastinapur kingdom, ruled by Yudhishthira, was described in the Srimad Mahabharata. Devas granted rain to fulfill all wants. The world became free of all diseases. There was no hunger or thirst anywhere. There was no mental suffering. Those without livelihood were given livelihood. And there was abundance all around. There was no worldly worries left for anyone. And there was no cause for fear either. happiness on earth was in fact even greater than in the heavens. And the Hindu nations had so much to contribute in every single field, whether it's the field of enlightenment, health, medicine, art, science, technology, aviation, dance and music, clothes and jewelry, social systems, judicial systems, political systems, legal systems. Hindu nations contributed in every field and gave breakthroughs in every field. So over the course of 1,000 years, our Hindu nations were destroyed due to various invasions and attacks by outsiders. Let us look at this three-phase attack and destruction of the Hindu civilization. The first phase were the Islamic invasions between 800 and 1700 AD. This was the physical destruction of the Hindu civilization. And Wilderand, a famous historian, has described that the Mohammedan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. The Islamic historians and scholars have recorded with great glee and pride the slaughters of Hindus, forced conversions, abduction of Hindu women and children to slave markets, the destruction of temples carried out by the warriors of Islam during 800 to 1700 AD. Millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword, and during this period, and millions more were raped and murdered and dismembered. And the Islamic law prescribed for Hindus, described and conveyed by Khilji, one of the invaders, has described that Hindus are like mud. If silver is demanded from them, they must with greatest humility offer gold. If a Mohammedan desires to spit into a Hindu's mouth, the Hindu should open it wide for that purpose. God created slaves for the Mohammedans. The Prophet hath ordained that if Hindus do not accept Islam, they should be imprisoned, tortured, and finally put to death, and their property confiscated. To keep Hindus in abasement is especially a religious duty, because they are the most embittered enemies of the Prophet. And during the Islamic invasions, over 200 million Hindus were slaughtered by Muslim invaders. Over 100,000 temples were destroyed, and over 1 million deities and sculptures were destroyed. And the description of these invaders, the conquering enemies burnt villages and devastated the land, plundered people's wealth. We can go back to the previous slide, please. We can go back to the previous slide, please. Yes. And the description of this invasion, the conquering enemies burned villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, took Brahmins and children and women of all classes captive, tied them with thongs of raw hide, carried a moving prison with them, and converted the prisoners into obsequious Turks. You can see how barbaric and brutal the Islamic invasions were. Next came the British occupation, next phase of the destruction of our Hindu civilization. This was between 1700 and 1947 AD till Indian independence. This was the economic and psychological destruction of the Hindu civilization. Wilderand again has described, I have seen a great people starving to death before my eyes, and I am convinced that this exhaustion and starvation are due not, as their beneficiaries claim, to population and superstition, but to the most sordid and criminal exploitation of one nation by another in all recorded history. And the British Empire used all possible means to destroy Hindu civil and cultural institutions in order to delegitimize and demoralize the indigenous people of India so that they would become slaves in their own homeland. This included discriminatory laws to instill feelings of racial inferiority, engineering artificial famines to starve natives into submission, annexing Hindu kingdoms to undermine the Hindu rule, mistranslating Hindu scriptures to instill anti-Hindu narratives, destroying the indigenous Gurukul education, which was the backbone of the Hindu civilization, destroying the local industries and forcing importation of British goods, and banning Indians from owning any firearms or producing any firearms. And during the British occupation, over $45 trillion was looted from India over the course of 200 years, and 45 million Hindus were put to death due to artificial famines and imposed poverty by the British and reprisal killings for 1957 mutiny. And over 680 native kingdoms were usurped by the British Raj, and Tajik Road of the Indian Parliament has described. The British came to one of the richest countries of the world, and over 200 years of exploitation, looting, and destruction reduced it to a poster child of third world poverty. The next phase of the destruction of the Hindu civilization came with the secularization of India. This was between 1947 and present day. This has been ruled by brown faces, British attitudes and policies towards Hindus. And Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, has described what a disgusting, savage people we are. Politics, progress, communism, science, socialism. Where are they before this black religious savagery? India can never be a Hindu republic. And B.R. Ambedkar, India's first law minister and the principal architect of the Indian Constitution, has described, if Hindu Raj does become a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for this country. No matter what Hindus say, Hinduism is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. So these are two of the first leaders of the so-called secular India. But clearly they had a very anti-Hindu agenda. And the modern Indian legal system, academia, and media all systematically undermine, suppress, and delegitimize the Hindu institutions and culture. And they've done this through various methods. For example, the Indian Constitution has established government control and taxation over Hindu temples, schools, and other institutions that remain free from this interference. And Articles 26 to 30 of the Indian Constitution discriminates against Hindus by giving special rights and benefits to non-Hindus. This includes government benefits and scholarship. And the Hindu kingdoms and governance has been abolished in Hindu kingdoms and governance has been abolished in the secular India, and anti-superstition laws have been passed to criminalize practices, and mainstream in academia have presented Hindus as sexist, racist, backwards, and oppressors. And the media has also portrayed Hindus in the same way in both Bollywood and TV. And media narratives have been used to stereotype and demoralize Hindus. Bollywood and other mainstream media outlets consistently portray Hindu gods and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt, and sex fiends in a manner that is similar to the British imperial propaganda. Media narratives have been used to shape human consciousness and further political agenda. Racist British colonial stereotypes portraying Hindus as superstitious, backwards, dishonest, and corrupt has been perpetuated by their British brown successors in modern day India, completely unabated. Here you can see some of the examples of how Hindus and Hindu gods and gurus have been portrayed in the media. So now let us look at the revival of the Hindu nation, as it is the responsibility of Hindus as described by Devi Parashakti. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has described the vision for the Hindu civilization. During the time of the Mahabharata, we Hindus had 56 deshas, 200 states, 1700 samsthanas, and 10,000 sampradayas. In all 56, we Hindus are persecuted. Now we have lost all 56. The last to fall was Nepal. I am the collective voice of all the persecuted Hindus. I will revive and rebuild a Hindu nation built on the Vedagamic principles as a refuge for all the practicing and aspiring Hindus, as a safe haven for all the persecuted Hindus. And this revival of Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is for reviving the whole life of enlightened civilization and all the great things that it has to offer to the world, bringing legitimacy to all the offerings Sanatana Hindu Dharma has, and by sharing it with the whole world is the purpose of this Kailasa, the Hindu nation. And Kailasa is the revival of the cosmic constitution. Kailasa is the model nation of how enlightened civilization should be living and administered. Politics, judiciary, education, economy, everything will be revived as Paramashiva revealed in the Vedagamic scriptures, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma scriptures. Being one of the most persecuted civilizations, Hinduism is on the brink of extinction, such that the next generation may know about Hinduism only through our history books. So what can we do to stand up for our Hindu civilization and all that it has offered to the world? Today, Hinduism is a political orphan. The preservation and restoration of Hinduism's spiritual and cultural heritage is impossible without a national identity. So what can we do to save Hinduism? We must reclaim our Hindu identity. As Devi Parashakti has revealed, after coming to Loka, we have forgotten the commitment that we have given to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma due to Maya and delusion. It is now time to reclaim our Hindu identity. We need to understand that Hinduism is responsible for our successful life. If we are Hindus and we are healthy, wealthy, rich, successful, peaceful, happy, respectable, have a stable family life, have the best mental setup, we need to understand that Hinduism is responsible. Our Hindu identity is responsible. Our Hindu scriptures are responsible. If it is the Hindu scriptures which have given us the best mental setup, all the best things that we have, our Hindu scriptures are responsible. And Hinduism is amongst the most, Hindus are amongst the most richest and successful ethnic communities in the world. Hindu scriptures, Hindu lifestyle, our enlightened masters are responsible for this. Our Hindu thought currents are responsible for this. And just one example of Hindus across the globe, in the Hindustan Times, it was reported that Hindus are the most educated religious group in the US, according to the Pew Study report. So it is now time to reclaim our Hindu identity. It is not just the anti-Hindu elements being active. It is the responsible Hindus being inactive that is responsible for this whole destruction of Hinduism. So let us now take responsibility for Hinduism and all the Hindus all over the world reclaim our Hindu identity. As Devi revealed, this is the commitment that we have given when we were given the Uttamatama birth of Sanatana Hindu birth. Let us understand a little bit more about the responsibility of Hindus as revealed by Devi Parashakti. It is the responsibility of Hindus to revive this enlightened civilization again and again and give all the gifts of the enlightened civilization to humanity. The revival of the enlightened civilization, the Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is the survival need of humanity. So this is an invitation to all of the Hindus across the globe, those who are born Hindus, those who are practicing Hindus, those who are sympathetic towards Hinduism, those who are curious about Hinduism, and those who want to explore and enjoy Hinduism. Please come and become a part of the survival of Kailasa, the only Hindu nation. You can sign up to be an e-citizen of Kailasa by visiting kailasa.org and avail all the benefits of Hinduism and share it with the world. Now with this, let us watch what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed as a need for the Kailasa, the only Hindu nation.
Contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music, in every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world, if you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected, not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world, just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully, I can store this whole thing alive and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better. I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books. 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu psychology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If the humanity, somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all the scriptures there and go on sharing with the world, revealing these whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than 1 cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world. Understand? I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. Whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. If I prosper, I'll create university, that's all. Kailasa is all about university to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. Whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers. Whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, life is all about contribution, contribution, contribution.
Now that we have understood what is the need for the Kailasa, the only illumination, that is, you would like to become a part of the survival, you can sign up to be an e-citizen at Kailasa by visiting Kailasa.org and becoming an e-Kailashian. And you can share this with all of your friends and family and invite them to also be an e-Kailashian and be a part of the survival of Kailasa. Now with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program. We'll be entering into the next segment where we will understand some of the offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti. As all of us know, Devi has been continuously manifesting over the last several months to guide us, bless us, and protect us during the time. So if you would like to offer your gratitude to the Divine Cosmic Mother, you are welcome. Stay tuned for this next segment where we will go through some of the offerings that we can make for Devi Parashakti. And most recently, Devi revealed in one Akashic reading that when you are having the intention to make an offering, when you even have the intention, it is because the divine has given you that blessing. Devi Swamiji has given you that intention to even make an offering. And you will only be given that intention when the divine, when Devi, when Swamiji are ready to shower upon you, to shower their grace, love, and blessings upon you. So now, if you're having this intention to make an offering, you should celebrate this intention, and you can stay tuned for this next segment and understand how to make your offering.
Nithyananda, and welcome back to this segment where we'll be learning more about the various offerings we can offer to Devi Parashakti today as we get ready to receive her darshan and blessings and celebrate her happening, her presence in our lives. And in the Hindu tradition, the offerings are a pure gift of love, devotion, and oneness, and it consists of the sacred sentiments of the devotee to the divine. And when the divine accepts one what one offers. The offerings are not made out of fear or greed. It is just an expression of the pure love and devotion for the divine. And when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. And now, as we prepare to receive Devi Parashakti with the best that we have to offer, our favorite offerings to Devi Parashakti, let us also contemplate on the grace and splendor, the beauty of Devi Parashakti as described in the Dhyana Shloka. This Dhyana Shloka is from the Moola Agama Manonmani Dhyana. This verse says, Induni bhaveda karavarni nayanam syat pankajavaraabhaya japakshasarayuktam angahimabhushana vichitravasanam syat tungamakutojvala manonmani swarupam. The translation of this verse, it says, moon-like face holding Veda, books on hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower gracing in blessing hands and one hand with Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another verse describes Devi Parashakti. It says, Dhyayet Devim Trinetram Shashinibhavadanaam Vedahastam Dadhanam Savye Padmam Varadamapare Chabhayam Chakshamalam Divyair Abharanair Vibhushita Tanum Brahmadibhit Pujitam Devi Meva Manonmanim Pratidinam Kamarthadatrim Shubham. The translation of this verse, it says, I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon and holding the Veda, lotus and gracing with blessing in gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments and she is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. And in the Hindu tradition, the sacred element of gold is used in abundance in the various rituals and offerings to the divine in the temple rituals and items of worship. So let us look at the significance of this divine element of gold in the worship of the divine. And this verse from the other Veda describes one of the many significance of gold. I'll be chanting this verse from Atharva Veda now. Tredajatam janmanedam hiranyam agnirekam priyatamam babhuva somasyaikyam insitasya parapatata apamekam veda samreta ahutatte hiranyam trividastvai vishe. The translation of this verse, it says, triply born by birth is this gold from the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. Gold is a divine element in the Hindu tradition. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and spiritual power of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Gold is present in all the scriptures, the Agamas, the Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas. In all the Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and pure metal which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual fees were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows, Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranyamaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. And now let us look at the various traditional offerings that we can offer to Devi Parashakti today as we get ready to receive her darshan. So the first offering is the offering of the e-hundi, where you can offer any amount of your choice and in multiple currencies. And Devi is described as Bhakti Priya, the one who is fond of true devotion. So let us look at this verse which describes Devi's love for true devotion. It says, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Kamya, Bhakti Vashya, Bhayapaha, Shambhavi, Sharada, Radhya, Sharvani, Sharmadaini. The translation of this verse, it says, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fear. If there's any fear in the minds of devotees, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn, and here it is meant the autumn of our lives when our thoughts turn more and more inwards. The role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship then becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu or Lord Shiva. Sharadaradhya is the one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada, Devi Saraswati. Sharvani is the wife of Lord Shiva. Linga Purana says Lord Shiva is called Sharva in his earth form, and Sharmadaini is Devi who bestows happiness on her devotees. And you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your Kanika, your token of gratitude, in the e-hundi in any amount and multiple currencies. And the e-hundi is similar to the hundi offerings in the temples where the devotee can offer any token of gratitude of their choice. So today, as you get ready to receive Devi Parashakti, you can make your e-hundi offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sankalpa chanting. And this verse from Devi Mahatmya, chapter 12, verse 34 describes, Tayaitan mohyate vishwam shaiva vishwam prasuyate Saya chittaja vijanam tushtarudim prayaschati. The translation of this verse, it says, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. We can make the offering of the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution to Devi Parashakti, and be blessed with all the fruition of the desires and wishes that you're yearning for. You can make this offering of the Sankalpa chanting on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarnaka. So this is the offering of the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. And Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes the repetition of her various names. And this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, where each coin is inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, is a very special and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. And when you make this offering, with each coin inscribed with the 1008 sacred names which describe the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the very divine qualities of Devi Parashakti, you are blessed to imbibe those very same divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself. So you can make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the pure gold coin inscribed with the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering in 3 different denominations and any number of coins as you wish to offer. And you can make the offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
And the next offering that we have is the Mukta Anguti, finger ring with pearls. And Devi is very well known to be adorned and very fond of pearls. And of course, the pearl represents the compassion of Devi. In this verse, it describes, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of the lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. So you can offer this Mukta Murtiti finger ring with a pearl to Devi Parashakti and receive. You can stop the screen here. So you can offer this finger ring with a pearl to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti, overflowing compassion and pure love in all of your business endeavors. We can stop the screen here for now. So let's now look at the next offering that we have available. Yes, the next offering is the Sahasranama Svarnakasu, which we offering.
Yes, the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower. And the gold lotus is a sacred offering in the Hindu tradition and is used in the worship of the divine, and it has many significance in the worship of the divine. One of the verses from the Kamika Agama describes the significance of the gold lotus, and this verse says, Ashtavidyeshwaropeta kumbhavarana samyutam sarve sasutra vastraadya hema pankajabhushitaha sapidanas sakkurachascha pakva billa palaprabha snapanadhyaya samsiddha pramanena samanvitaha. The translation of this verse, it says, all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with a new cloth. They should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. And there are hundreds of scriptural references for using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involving the consecration of deities of worship or meditating on the mudras used during worship involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Hindu tradition. The Shakti of Paramashiva is also called a lotus. The base of the Paramashiva linga is a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, the one who is about to bloom. So you can make the offering of the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes and be blessed to have the state, space, powers and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situations in life.
The next offering that we have is the Swarnameti, the gold toe ring. And in this verse, it describes the power of Devi's very toenails. It states, you whose brightness from the toenails destroy the ignorance in the minds of your devotees, who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your 2 feet overpower that of the lotus flower. So just the very toenails of Devi Parashakti have the power to destroy the darkness of ignorance. So you can offer the toe ring to Devi Parashakti to adorn her sacred feet and be in constant gratitude for receiving the blessings in even the most difficult aspects of your life.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. And Devi is described as Sudha Sharabi Varshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara, she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. And the Swarna Mangtika represents the nectar overflowing from the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully opened with the sacred sentiment of gratitude. And you can make the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry to Devi Parashakti, and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
The next offering that we have is the Pratiksha Pada Puja, the offering of worship to the divine lotus feet of Swamiji, who is manifesting Devi Parashakti herself. And in this verse from Saundarya Lahari, in Shloka 83, it describes that the toenails have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of the celestial beings, who always prostrate before Devi. Tamoguna darkness in this Stotram summit is indicative of the ignorance in the minds of the devotees, and by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain the ultimate knowledge. We can offer the Pratiksha Pada Puja to Swamiji, manifesting Devi Parashakti, and be blessed to remove all the ignorance and attain the ultimate knowledge of enlightenment.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth to Devi Parashakti, and you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, who is the Nija Avatar of Devi Parashakti herself. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
So here is the list of all the offerings that you can make. The Ihundi offering, the Sankalpa chanting, Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasa, the Mukta Anguti, the Svarna Padma Pushpa, the Svarnameti, the Svarnamantika, and the Pratiksha Bhaduja and the Vastra Seva. So in order to make your offering, you can visit kailasamailer.com/seva. It's a very simple process. So if you are wanting to make your offering, but you still want some information or you need some more details or need some help manifesting this offering, you can fill out the intention form, which we will be projecting to you shortly. And if you are ready to make your offering, we will be going through how to make your offering very shortly. So you can visit kailasamailer.com/sevas in order to make your offering. Fill out your intention and you can make your offering. Once you're done making your offering, you can also fill out the Sankalpa form directly through the website.
So here we have the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, where you can make optional offerings of ornaments and sevas by clicking on the link on step 2, and you can also make the offering of the e-hundi by clicking on the e-hundi link on step 2. And if you're ready to make your intention to make an offering, you can submit the form on step 1 if you would like to receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intention into reality. You can fill out the form on step 1, and once you've made your traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti, you can also fill the form on step 3, which with the details of your name and the names of your family members and your sankalpa, your conscious resolution. You can fill out the form on step 3 after you've made the traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti. So you can make the offerings of the e-hundi in multiple currencies: the US dollars, the Australian dollars, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Indian rupees, the Singaporean dollar, the Malaysian ringgit, the Great Britain pound, and the Chinese yen. And you can make this offering in multiple amounts, any amount of your choice. And you can also make the traditional offerings of the ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti on this website, where you can offer the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is the pure gold coin, each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. This offering can be made in 3 different denominations and any number of coins. The Mukta Anguti, which is the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. This offering can be made in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, which is the gold toe ring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering on the website. The Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. You can make this offering on the website. And you can also make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the Vastra Seva, and any of the traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti. You can make the offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And with this, now we'll be moving to the next segment of this program, where we'll be learning more about the various facilities being made available for the care and well-being of humanity through the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa as guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, and the various contributions of Kailasa, of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, for humanity and to raise humanity, to guide humanity to the next superconscious breakthrough and to guide them through this times of pandemic. So let us look at the various facilities being made available, the many contributions of Kailasas for humanity. Let's now get ready for the next segment and prepare to receive the darshan and blessings of Devi Parashakti.
Nithyanandam, everyone. Welcome back to this segment of Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers. At the time, Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies, with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivan's blessings. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Chadusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what we learn from this segment today is concerning statistics on the mental health and the global peace across the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic. What are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa's contributions for global peace? Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's spiritual solutions for COVID-19, Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers, and why temple-based ecosystems. UN recognizes Kailasa's contributions and join Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers. The crisis that we are under. Today, people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures, and countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. Now let us see some statistics and current news. Record high cases in Australia amid third wave of COVID-19. Australia reported a new record number of coronavirus cases when the country continues to battle the third wave of COVID-19 infections. The World Health Organization makes a big statement about Delta variant of COVID-19. The World Health Organization recently said that the Delta variant of coronavirus has elbowed out all the other COVID-19 variants of concern that now represent a tiny fraction of the samples which are being sequenced. Less than 1% of alpha, beta, and gamma are currently circulating. It is really predominantly Delta around the world, said the World Health Organization technical lead on COVID-19, Maria Van Kerkhove. COVID-19 has now killed more Americans than the influenza pandemic of 1918 to 19 did. The coronavirus pandemic has now killed more Americans 18 to 19 influenza pandemic did. The 1918 to 19 flu infected about 25% of Americans and killed an estimated 0.65% with 675,000 deaths. COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and killed about 0.2% with 676,000 deaths. Now that the US death toll from COVID-19 has surpassed 676,000, the coronavirus pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. Axios and the Associated Press both released the grim milestone recently. COVID-19 now killed more Americans than the influenza of 1918 to 19 did. So it is declared as the US deadliest pandemic as the death toll crosses that of 1918 to 19 flu. People infected with alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than original COVID strain. The University of Maryland researchers suggested that the need for better ventilation and tight-fitting masks, in addition to widespread vaccination, to help stop the virus. 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent viral transmission indoors. According to a study, the physical distancing of 2 meters, about 6.5 feet, may not be enough to sufficiently prevent transmission of virus carrying airborne aerosols indoors, according to a study. COVID-19 Delta variant is still the most concerning, says the World Health Organization's experts. COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control in the United States, says the Chief Medical Advisor, Mr. Anthony Fauci. He said, right now, we are still in pandemic mode because we have 160,000 new infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. The increase in COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide better booster shots of the virus vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in Delta variants is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the US, according to the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. In the country of our size, you can be hanging around and having 100,000 infections a day. You've got to get well below 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable, Mr. Fauci said. The World Economic Forum, COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. The COVID-19 violent incidences and fatalities, January 2020 to April 2021, violent incidences related to the pandemic made the world less peaceful. The younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. The average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder, what it was in January to June 2019 before the pandemic, was 11%. Now the same anxiety disorder and depressive disorder, in just 1 month of the beginning of this year, it rose up to 41.1%. And some more statistics confirming the same, that showing the adults reporting symptoms of anxiety and depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. The younger adults are more affected than the older adults. The stress in America, a national mental health crisis. COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans. Nearly 8 in 10, which is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. Nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health burden. Of the health workers who treated patients during the COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety, according to preliminary research. self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, depression was 15%, and now during the pandemic, it rose up to 40.7%. And anxiety was 29% before the pandemic, and now it rose up to 72% during the pandemic. Now, living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. And 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Understanding the pandemic's impact on working women. Nearly 82% of the women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. And nearly 70% of the women who have experienced these disruptions are concerned their career growth may be limited as a result. The global economic outlook during the pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession in 2020, with per capita income contracting the largest fraction of these globally since 1817. International Labour Organization, COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict-affected nations. COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO is more than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic. In India, the Mumbai mayor says the third wave is already here. And the city mayor has said that the third wave of COVID is already upon Mumbai, pointing to a sudden spike in cases that the third wave of COVID-19 is not coming, it's already here. Said Kishori Padnekar, adding to an announcement regarding the matter, they have already been made in Nagpur. And breakthrough infections found in 25% of the health staff. A little over 25% of health workers were infected with coronavirus despite getting fully vaccinated. A recent study has revealed, giving an insight on the breakthrough infection due to the Delta variant. This study is jointly conducted by the Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology. The maximum hospitals in Delhi NCR found that the vaccination breakthroughs were far more common during the Delta outbreak in Delhi than previously reported. The COVID-19 variant Mu shows signs of vaccine resistance. All you need to know. The new coronavirus strain known as Mu, which was first identified in Colombia in January, has been designated a variant of interest by the World Health Organization. After being detected by the Colombia, Mu, known as scientifically as B.621, in other South American countries in Europe. Now that we have seen the statistics across the world, the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic not only affecting the physical health, affecting the fatalities increasing, affecting the mental health of the everyone, especially the younger adults, and increasing the violent incidences, making the world less peaceful. So, how to cope up with the current COVID-19 pandemic? It is important to address the COVID-19 pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says the pandemic fatigue is setting in as a result of continuous lockdown and resulting in delusional ignorance. Holding on to the delusion and supporting this phase of delusional decision leads to delusional arrogance. The global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. Drastic change is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives to carry them through this crisis. Sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with the nature is possible if you start now. Making peace with the nature is possible only if you start now. Even amid pandemic, the 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with the nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we cannot achieve sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty by 2030, if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economics and societies by valuing our nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small clip of making peace with the nature. World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated. In the words of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. If individual groups and enjoy equitable access to health services, fulfilling their rights to physical and mental health, and health actors design natural health interventions that promote trust and dialogue, and communities are empowered to cope with violent conflicts, then health coverage is more universal. Grievances can be heard with address to generate trust, and around health emergency concerns, affected communities are more likely to make meaningful contributions to peace and reconciliation and to resist incitements to violence. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflicts around the world while streaming the prospects for resolving ongoing ones. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by the common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, governments, private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Now let us see the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the global peace. The Vedic civilization beautifully describes Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivanu pushyati sarva bhutesha chatmanam tadona vigagupshate. Isha Upanishad verse 6. Global peace is the byproduct of individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village or whole country. If he is powerful enough, like incarnation, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. The individual bliss is the source of the global peace in the level of Om, the microscopic and macroscopic level Om, the macroscopic level universe. Whatever level it is, it may be, global peace is the byproduct of the individual peace. How do we get that individual peace? By the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully explains, by practicing completion, by practicing unclutching. He explains elaborately of these various techniques for completion and unclutching and various other spiritual cognitions techniques. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains. And now let us see some of the techniques and processes, practices the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains to achieve individual peace and bliss. So global peace is the byproduct of individual bliss.
With my love and respects, today I wanted to expand on the science of completion. How the science of completion can directly impact the consciousness you are carrying and the consciousness embodied in many bodies. Please understand, the more deeper you go inside you, means more deeper space you go inside you, more expanded you become, more one with everything, more oneness you experience. Because the more deeper you go, the more you experience the unified field of consciousness. Various words are used. Some of the Hindu traditions uses the word Atma, Brahman. Some of the Hindu traditions use the word Nirvana. Whatever word you may use, Atman, Brahman, Nirvana, unified field of consciousness, whatever. But one thing I want to tell you, the deeper and deeper you go in your inner space, you experience the vast oneness. The more superficial you are, the more incompletions you carry yourself. The more superficial you become, even your own right hand and left hand fights with each other. Different parts of you fights with you. Different thoughts of you fights with you. Even you fight with you, the more superficial you go, the more deeper you start traveling. First, you get integrated. The you fighting with you stops. Then, the people around you get integrated. They fighting with you stops. Completion with yourself, then completion with others, then comes completion with other things, not just living beings, even with inanimate beings. The completion starts happening. Even with the nature, completion starts happening. Please understand, the more deeper you travel, the more deeper you go, the more deeper you settle down, the more deeper you start living. Your cognition expands. Your cognition includes. Your cognition becomes more and more inclusive. More joy, more bliss, more knowledge, more enlightenment. Please understand. The more and more completion happens in you, you will see everyone around you feels complete with you. That is why I am saying, whether they have body or they are disembodied, in the deepest corners of your being, deepermost layers of your being, deepest parts of your being, you experience such powerful awareness, such joy. Going into the deepermost corners of your being not only is a joy, it's a power. Because suddenly you will see everybody around you, everything around you listens to you. The tendency to exploit is not there. Listen, that's a very important thing. Power without the tendency to exploit. Because as long as you feel the other person is separate from you, when you get the power, it will always be used for exploiting. Because the other person is separate from you, then naturally what you will feel? Let me suck all the possible energy, intelligence, time, talent, treasure. But when you feel the other person is your own extension, you will see, you will be showering so much, enriching so much. The power you have will not be exploiting, it will be enriching. I tell you, even if death at this moment, I can tell you very clearly, I can face the death directly and tell the death, I have enriched every human being more than what I received from anybody. I have given to every human being whom I met in my life more than what I received from them. My accounts is clear. I am ready. Come on, let's go. My accounts is clear. I don't have debt. No credit card money to be paid, loans to be paid, no debit card, no credit card. My accounts is clear. Understand, when you feel everyone is your extension, the power given to you, the power you gain, see, any living is power. Powerful way. Even in that, you will become powerful. So any lifestyle you choose, you will get power in that field. Whether it is exploiting or enriching, murdering or raping or go on serving. Whatever lifestyle you choose, living is power. when you go into the deepermost core of your being and start living based on completion, I tell you, the first power you will experience is everything around you listens to you. That power will simply make you enrich everyone. The best power you can have through living is power of enriching. Whatever you do, as I said, whether you live the life of enriching or exploiting, you will become powerful. I tell you, the power of exploiting brings more and more conflict within and without. And those conflicts naturally bring suffering. And the power of enriching brings more and more completion in you and in others. This full month, Nithyananda Sangha all over the world. The other day I was seeing, we have officially presence in more than 50 countries. As devotees, group of devotees, we have presence in 100 countries. All over the world, we are going to celebrate this whole month for Global Peace Month, impacting global peace. All of us this whole month and do samskara dahana kriya, means burning the patterns which separates us from others, burning the patterns which are constantly keeping us in a superficial level. All over the world, we will be doing samskara dahana kriya, burning our patterns and leading us to more and more completion. And we also have special 3 Nitya Dhyana Yoga program teaching people science of completion and facilitating samskara dahana kriya. This month, 20th, 21st and 22nd, this whole month, all over the world, all our temples, ashrams, centers, yoga centers, schools, colleges, universities should do samskara dahana kriya, should do the practice of burning all the incompletions and patterns which leads to conflicts, bringing more and more peace inside us and outside us, spreading peace. This whole month, let's impact global peace. Let us really contribute to the global peace, not just talking about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not just talking about it. Let's do it. Even if you teach the samskara dahana kriya to 50 people in each area, each place where we have centers, ashrams, temples, two-way centers, yoga centers, even 50 people, each Tanidar teaches, enriches them with this science. Suffering and negative waves, negative vibes reduction can contribute so much to the world. Please understand, one positive person can burn millions people negativity. Experientially, with evidence, we proved one positive person has already burnt at least 20 million people's negativity in last 10 years and brought peace. So each one of you, if you stand up as one positive being, one authentic, responsible, enriching being, I tell you, we can do so much to the world. It will be better place than the time we entered. When we leave, it should be better place. That's all. When we leave the earth, it should be better place. So understand, inner peace is your birthright. Go to the depths of your being. Bring more and more completion into you. Completion with others. And start living Advaita. Today in the Inner Awakening session, it's all about completion with others. So last 6 days, literally, you worked so much, one by one by one by one by one, layer by layer by layer by layer. The completion with yourself. Now comes completion with others. Today, we are starting the science of completion with others. It's one of the most powerful science. Does so much to human beings, not just healing their relationships, even inside their consciousness, this inner space, so much of good is done, so much of awakening is done. See, when you have completed with others, the kind of strength you feel is the power of Advaita, strength of Advaita. Today the Inner Awakening sessions are all about completion with others. We have long session today working on completing with others. So with this, because today we have a long session with Inner Awakening, we are also lagging behind the syllabus. Actually, it is a good news. It's not a bad news, because participants are so sincere. They are going through the whole process so intensely, sincerely. Because of that, we are little delayed. But today I am going to catch up. Today I am going to spend more time and catch up with them, with the syllabus. So I conclude today with this. I'll move to the next sessions, IA sessions and all that. Because never I conclude. There's no conclusion for satsang. It goes on and on and on. Only the audience change. So with this, I move to the next step. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching and causing eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999, www.nithyananda.org.
Now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains the self-transformation, the secret to achieve global peace.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do. Socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. You read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. Enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find a little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, CNN news. or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let honor to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take, so no revolution is going to help, because in last 2000 years 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way. Social answer means, I'll tell, social answer means, listen carefully. The space of Shanti, is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything, pure Shanti-based Shakti, peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra. Starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation, do not want to allow the peace in our life or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat, more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because unclutching completely makes you altogether a different material. Understand? It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything, all the 8 energy flow circuits, 7 energy flows, 1 the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you unclutch. Understand? Unclutching is the space of Sri Kailasa. Listen carefully. Listen. Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion. Loving peace, living peace. Individual level, social level, global level. Understand? Hinduism lost all its 56 nations, 200 states, 10,000 kingdoms, samsthanas, is not a loss to Hinduism, it is a loss to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace is kept alive. Just do this one simple statistics. You yourself study. Google and study. Take the top 10 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. List for each religion. I can be 200% sure you yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion, neither conversion nor terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Being the supreme pontiff of the most peace-loving, peace-living religion, I give you all my blessings on this International Peace Day. And it is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility, and we need to make this global peace as reality. Just talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only is the responsibility of the real living Hindu. Anyone who wants to claim themselves as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace is our responsibility. Every chant, Hindus have the responsibility to bring global peace. So you can also throw a challenge. See, if you are making a Hindu micronation, you can throw this challenge to each one. Your friends, family, 10 people. Let them participate in the challenge and then let them send the challenge to others. So I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus to become founding fathers of Kailasa micronation in your countries. You can also make a challenge, like how they made ice bucket challenge and all that. We can make a challenge. You form Hindu micronation and claim, I am the founding father of the Hindu micronation Kailasa. And then you can invite your family, friends for a challenge. 11 people. You form and you challenge 11 people and they also form and they spread. So let us start spreading. This project is my message on this International Day of Peace. Let us start working for global peace instead of just talking. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. This is the message. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. Global peace is the responsibility of Hindus. We living, practicing Hindus, not only we should achieve the individual peace through unclutching, yoga, meditation, we should also create an ecosystem where the global peace starts manifesting. This Kailasa Hindu micronation is the enlightenment ecosystem. I request every living practicing Hindu to manifest, do it. So the global peace can manifest from these Kailasa Hindu micronations all over the world. Hindus have Hindus have.
So join the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers by registering the link below with https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. Now we'll be learning about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contributions for the global peace in other aspects, other spiritual solutions. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyananda order of monks and nuns and Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace and to give a super consciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at the climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian level cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind, body, emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, the amount of contribution and the activism Kailasa has increased multifold through the Paramashivoham program, bringing the super consciousness breakthrough to the whole humanity. By starting the Akanda Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost billions of minutes Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal 24/7 via Zoom sessions, spiritual healing to one and all 24/7, helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn to cope up emotions like depression and tough situations in relationships, providing alternative solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation, initiating thousands every day into manifesting innate superhuman capabilities in the Kailas Kotiyar sessions, providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear the stomach from the Ayurveda solutions, which ultimately brings clarity out to the spiritual truths and give a conscious breakthrough. In the long term, establishing self-sufficient communities. Continuing and intensifying the service of Annadan, the free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tiruvannamalai, Los Angeles, and various other Adinams. Paving way with the New World Order, starting the agriculture-based communities in Adi Kailas and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa, offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hinduism prescribes various methods for global healing. One such is Maheshwara Puja, nullifying the collective negativity simply through the presence of the avatar and his order of monks, offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamitous victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthrough. Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, revelations, and solutions to combat the COVID-19. Society was created with the delusional ideas of too many human beings, blind spots, and the decisions made from those blind spots. If the visionary of a civilization or country or nation has blind spots, when he develops the vision for it, the whole civilization suffers those blind spots forever. Now it's time that the nature, Prakriti, resets itself, and many of the blind spots based visions, ideas become important components of the society. This pralaya, which is happening, is melting down everything which is delusion based. The world as we know is gone, and let us celebrate God. This isolation, which is seemingly endless, with an unknown future which is compelling humanity to make 100% lifestyle to change is something to be deeply dwelt upon. All problems need to be addressed only with spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. To stop people having mental breakdown, pandemic fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them super consciousness breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and um, some of the spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions are unclutching, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, continuously building a deep feeling connection, and yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, and nirahara samyama. It is time we all take responsibility to save humanity, to protect people from the pandemic fatigue, destruction, and delusion. Let us try to enrich people for every one of these great spiritual solutions. It's free and open for all, and let us take this few minutes now and share with as many people as possible. All these spiritual solutions are free and available online. Anywhere else in the world can attend these sessions, and many of them are available via Zoom sessions. People from over 50 countries continuously irradiate the space of Paramashiva by practicing the unclutching meditation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, started from 13th May 2020. And at any given point of time, you can find 4 to 8 zones actively unclutching around the world. You can join this movement at http://kailasa.tv/minutes for peace. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions are rooted in the highest truth, the lifestyle based on living and radiating the higher values of life, and powerful way of living and realizing one's ultimate potential form the foundation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings, which by their inherent nature provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which aimed to reduce crime globally by conducting mass meditations around the world in parallel. In 2014, just after 2 years of launching the program, it crossed over 1 billion minutes of meditation. Scientific studies have shown a reduced crime rate after participation in the meditation and completion techniques. In 1976, it was found that when 1% of community practiced meditation and puja, the crime rate was reduced by 16% on an average. The current tally on the Minutes for Peace website is more than 4.3 billion cumulative minutes of meditation logged, including all the events, programs, and festivals where people have gathered in large numbers and participated in meditations and rituals. The total count comes out to be a staggering 409 billion minutes for peace so far. You can see some of the glimpses where about 5,000 devotees gathered and participated in a 48-day meditation program called Shuddhadvaitam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has hosted Kumbh Mela, United States, in Los Angeles since 2007. Nithyananda Sangha is entrusted as the only organization to host Kumbh Mela outside India by the Akhila Bharatiya Akhada Parishad. In September 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized the first confluence for world peace to honor the memory of those who lost their lives saving others on September 11, 2001 at Irvine, California. The second confluence for peace was held in Los Angeles in 2007 in collaboration with Vedanta Society, BAPS, ISKCON, Siddha Yoga, and other organizations. The Kumbh Mela festival spread fast to other countries, including Australia, Canada, etc. In 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace walk covering 1,000 kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in harmony from all walks of life, to promote feeling connection and oneness among people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has conducted the large-scale collective meditations on September 21st, International Peace Day, to raise the collective consciousness. One of the greatest contributions that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is contributing is initiating thousands into sannyas. Sannyas is our social responsibility. Let us save Hinduism and humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revitalized the monastic tradition of sannyas by initiating hundreds of people into Nithyananda monastic order. The all-renouncing monks contribute the best things to human civilization, living their life with the cognition that life is for others. These monks and nuns act as the beginners of peace and empowerment for the human society distraught with violence, depression, and other forms of life negativity. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived the ancient practice of embarking on pilgrimages, the spiritual journeys, taking the spiritual aspirants to high energy sacred spots such as the Himalayas, Kailas, Varanasi, Angkor Wat, and various powerful temples of India. Even though prevalent in India, this practice is rapidly losing its original context, turning into a recreational family vacation. Reviving the original spiritual context, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made it possible for modern day human beings to benefit from the spiritual energy present at these centers and accelerate their journey of spiritual evolution, hence ensuring individual and collective peace as a natural consequence. Food system whole key to ending the world hunger. The effect of COVID-19 pandemic, the UN has noted a dramatic increase in world hunger according to the state of food security and nutrition in the world. 1/10 of global population, as many as 811 people, were undernourished in 2020, an increase of 100 million from 2019. According to the Eat Lancet Commission, moving toward diets with the diversity of plant-based foods, low amounts of animal source foods, unsaturated rather than the saturated fats, and limited amounts of refined grains, highly processed foods, and added sugars could prevent between 19 and 24% of all adult deaths each year. Under the Red Om project, which is the No Hunger project, through the Annalayas, the food donation centers at the Kailasas de facto spiritual embassies worldwide, under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has served over 2 billions of organic sattvic vegetarian meals so far. Giving free food to all the citizens is the economic policy of Kailasa, deriving the reference from Vedas and Agamas. Recently, under the humanitarian initiative launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is opening of Kailasa's COVID care centers in India, where the monastery campuses have been turned into a multi-layer quarantine facility to safeguard the inmates against any possible point of contact with the outer world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status. Food, shelter, internet, and all basic facilities, including medical care, are provided at these COVID care centers free of cost and for an indefinite period of time. The outcome has been a splendid zero infection rate so far among the participants, a feat not achieved anywhere else in the world, let alone in India. This response model of handling the COVID-19 pandemic at a community level, along with the guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. Now we can see some of the glimpses where participants of the COVID care program offered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are enjoying a healthy, blissful spiritual lifestyle in multi-layered quarantine, multi-layered protection. They enjoy a stress-free time following a spiritual morning routine, doing yoga, doing puja and temple sevas, kara sevas, and celebrating festivals. So join the Kailasas COVID Care Protection Centers and register now through the link below with https:// //kailasa.org/kailasa care. Now, all these COVID care centers at the Kailasa de facto spiritual embassies are temple based. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been reviving the temple based ecosystem. So let's now understand why the temple based ecosystem. Now, especially in the times when COVID-19 is rampant or in a lockdown because of the risk of the widespread corona disease, the devotees of these temples were visiting and having darshan of their gods and goddesses for thousands of years. At all these ancient sacred sentiments have come to a harming halt after the lockdowns have taken place. The religious fervor of the devotees is being lost due to the pandemic. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the e-Kailasa ecosystem and bringing all the ancient traditions of the online platforms on Kailasa TV, YouTube, and Facebook. Now, let's understand from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains about the science of temples.
Who is Devi Meenakshi and her husband? Why this grand temple? What are the visible and invisible of this temple? Please tell us, Swamiji.
Read the next question also. Both.
As we see in our present time, towers of mobile, TV or dish TV antennas everywhere connecting invisibility to satellites, doing an incredible function for individuals and for society. My question is, there is and was everywhere temples and deities in this culture. Anybody coming from outside just wonder, is this just sentimental carved stones, worshipping culture or just artistic sculpture? What is the invisible function of temples, deities?
See, both questions, same answer. That is the reason I wanted to answer both the questions together. Modern day dish TVs, antennas, mobile towers, all of them work in the level of certain frequency where the words, pictures, visuals can be transmitted. See the verbalization and visualization, names and forms can be transmitted from one place to another place through these mobile towers, dish TV antennas. But the temple towers are created to transmit super consciousness from one place to another place. Please understand. In Meenakshi's time, there was television, conscious television. It used to be in stone slab. And if you stone TV, meditate, connect with Meenakshi, she will appear live and answer whatever you want. So each of the stone slabs only slowly later on became deities. You can see in our temples this happening. The TVs in which I am appearing and speaking are slowly becoming deities. They are receiving worship. Flowers are offered to it. Aarti is done to it. Incense is given to it. Now, all our temples are planning to have a separate throne for this TV. In Los Angeles, already I am on the throne. The TV is in the throne. The TV, in which people are seeing me, have already become deity. Same way, please understand, the stones through which people were able to connect with the super consciousness have become deities. Same way, all our temples, deities, everything is a connecting mechanism with super consciousness. The mechanism which connects with the super consciousness. Please understand, The deities and temples are not just sentimental carved stones, not just artistic sculptures. They are conscious transmitters. They raise you to the superconsciousness. In each house in Vedic tradition, we have a puja room. All the puja rooms are your private conscious airport, are conscious transmission centers. The main temple is the place from where continuous superconsciousness is radiating. So if you just sit and connect with a deep feeling connection, see, in those days human beings were so beautiful and simple. Just remembering the name of the deity is enough. They are already in connection with the deity. That feeling connection. When I read Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, it says, sit in Siddhasana and be in Samadhi. That's all. See, the human beings were so simple in those days. Just if you sit in Siddhasana, you are already in Samadhi. If you sit, your mind sits. Now, if you sit, your mind sits. Mind is completely away from the body. In those days, human beings were so simple and intelligent. All the non-mechanical parts of their brain were awakened. It is Western culture which killed the non-mechanical parts of the brain, the functions of the non-mechanical parts of the brain. Please understand, civilization, always human beings were brought up in such a way that non-mechanical parts of the brain was fully alive and awakened. It is a cultural invasion, destroyed the greatest possibility of the human being when the non-mechanical parts of the brain is not functioning anymore. The temples, deities, all these are looking useless. Otherwise, they are a huge conscious infrastructure. Please understand. So, one example, suddenly, if we find some method to travel just 20 feet above the air or 30 feet above the air without petrol or diesel, all our automobiles, roads, everything will become useless. Then you will wonder, why so many automobile industries are established? Why so many cars are produced? Why this huge road waste? I think our ancestors are fools. You don't understand. At one period, it was used. It was being useful. Our temples, our deities, all these are useful if all your non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened. Unclutching is the process to awaken your non-mechanical parts of the brain. When your non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened, you will understand temples, deities, how useful they are, how directly useful they are, how they are part of our life, how they enrich our life, and how they make human beings intelligent, enlightened. These are the methods created to create enlightened civilization. These grand temples are not built as an just monument. They are built as a conscious movement. It is not like Egyptian pyramids, monuments. No. It is conscious movement to raise human beings to the highest consciousness, to make human beings experience the highest purpose. Understand? Unclutch. Use the temples to achieve the highest consciousness.
Now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains about the deity's holding energy when doing prana pratishtha.
Actually, after the great pause settling, I wanted to do this Kumbhabhishekam, and then the Shivacharyas have advised us that only after the Uttarayana Punyakala, means after the Uttarayana starts, we are having a good date, Uttamottama date for Kumbhabhishekam. So that's the reason we waited. And see, fundamentally, deity intensely receives the energy like a lightning and holds it and manifests continuously for the whole humanity. You see, it's like if I have to talk to you in a normal social language, it's like a light, see, I can get into the samadhi, one with Paramashiva, and bring the whole thing to planet Earth. But the deity should be able to hold it and manifest it, radiate it for the humanity. So that is the reason beautiful, dense, most dense granite deity is made. The earlier, the Avudayar we made, too much of power manifestation, it has given crack in multiple places. I don't know how you guys will be able to believe. Maybe I'll tell them to show the video. Such dense granite cracks to pieces and so carefully maintained with so much of all the Abhishekam, Puja and everything. Crack is the last thing you can imagine in dense granite, but so many places that earlier Avudayar has had, and that's the reason we made the new deity with more dense granite now. More dense granite, the deity is done, so it can withstand the power manifestation and hold the power for quite a long time. Maybe at least next 12 years it can hold. And before that I'm planning for the different level of granite for Avudayar. I wanted to teleport from the other planets where the 100 times more dense than planet Earth's granite is available. And anyhow, all that I'll do it and then show, and instead of giving material for trolls, I'll give information after everything is achieved.
On various occasions, Devi Parashakti revealed in her Akashic reading that crores of people will come there to the Adi Kailash looking for health, Navapashana water feast and medicine to get health and protection and enlightenment. To protect India from the great destruction, I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if captain is not there, the ship is there. On 14th May 2021, they were revealed that whoever comes to Adi Kailasa and does the good work of saving people from deadly corona, I myself will do all of their life's work. And this is a commitment, Paramashakti, giving you all, Parameshwari, I will do what I say. To save people from corona, I have set up a huge ship, Ananda Sarovar, Vaidya Sarovar, and Anandalingam. I have made it in Adi Kailasa. Go there and take water every day. Worship Anandalingam, water, turmeric, milk, and neem rasam showered on Navapashanam are the medicines for this. When the first world countries closed their borders during a massive global emergency, Kailasa has opened its doors to all without exception. The various adhinams across India open are Adi Kailas in Bidadi, Bangalore, Salem, Tirunamalai, Rajapalam, Pattanam, Srirangapadi, Madurai, Avatipalam, Huzur, all from Tamil Nadu, and Puduvai Adhinam from Pondicherry, Baroda Adhinam from Gujarat, and Sripuram Adhinam from Telangana, Hyderabad. Kailasa rushes to aid India as India finds itself on the verge of COVID-19 third wave. The multiple free COVID care centers opened across India, free social services offered during the pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India, and various social, along with social services, various spiritual services are also offered, and cosmic revelations on global pandemic. Free social services offered during the pandemic at the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India are medical care, which is allopathy, Ayurvedic, and Siddha medicine, infrastructure to accommodate thousands, accommodation for multi-layer quarantine, emergency ambulances, ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment.